Chapter 36. In the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, this word came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying,
Take a scroll of a book, and write in it all the words that I have spoken to you against Israel, and against Judah, and against all the nations, from the day I spoke to you, from the days of Josiah, even to this day. It may be that the house of Judah will hear all the evil which I intend to do to them, that they may each return from his evil way, that I may forgive their iniquity and their sin.
Then Jeremiah called Baruch, the son of Neriah, and Baruch wrote from the mouth of Jeremiah all Yahweh's words, which he had spoken to him, on a scroll of a book. Jeremiah commanded Baruch, saying, I am restricted. I can't go into Yahweh's house. Therefore you go, and read from the scroll which you have written from my mouth, Yahweh's words, in the ears of the people, in Yahweh's house, on the fast day. Also you shall read them in the ears of all Judah, who come out of their cities. It may be they will present their supplication before Yahweh, and will each return from his evil way. For Yahweh has pronounced great anger and wrath against this people. Baruch, the son of Neriah, did according to all that Jeremiah the prophet commanded him, reading in the book Yahweh's words in Yahweh's house. Now in the 5th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, in the 9th month, all the people in Jerusalem, and all the people who came from the cities of Judah to Jerusalem, proclaimed a fast before Yahweh. Then Baruch read the words of Jeremiah from the book in Yahweh's house, in the room of Gemariah, the son of Shaphan, the scribe, in the upper court, at the entry of the new gate of Yahweh's house, in the ears of all the people. When Micaiah, the son of Gemariah, the son of Shaphan, had heard out of the book all Yahweh's words, he went down into the king's house, into the scribe's room. And behold, all the princes were sitting there: Elishama, the scribe, Delaiah, the son of Shemaiah, Elnathan, the son of Agbor, Gemariah, the son of Shaphan, Zedekiah, the son of Hananiah, and all the princes. Then Micaiah declared to them all the words that he had heard, when Baruch read the book in the ears of the people. Therefore all the princes sent Jehudi, the son of Nethaniah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Cushi, to Baruch, saying, Take in your hand the scroll, in which you have read in the ears of the people, and come. So Baruch, the son of Neriah, took the scroll in his hand, and came to them. They said to him, Sit down now, and read it in our hearing. So Baruch read it in their hearing. Now when they had heard all the words, they turned in fear one toward another, and said to Baruch, We will surely tell the king of all these words. They asked Baruch, saying, Tell us now, how did you write all these words at his mouth? Then Baruch answered them, He dictated all these words to me with his mouth, and I wrote them with ink in the book. Then the princes said to Baruch, You and Jeremiah, go hide. Don't let anyone know where you are. They went in to the king into the court, but they had laid up the scroll in the room of Elishama the scribe. Then they told all the words in the hearing of the king. So the king sent Jehudi to get the scroll, and he took it out of the room of Elishama the scribe. Jehudi read it in the hearing of the king, and in the hearing of all the princes who stood beside the king. Now the king was sitting in the winter house in the 9th month, and there was a fire in the brazier burning before him. When Jehudi had read 3 or 4 leaves, the king cut it with the penknife. and cast it into the fire that was in the brazier, until all the scroll was consumed in the fire that was in the brazier. The king and his servants who heard all these words were not afraid, and didn't tear their garments. Moreover, Elnathan and Delaiah and Gemariah had made intercession to the king, that he would not burn the scroll, but he would not listen to them. The king commanded Jerahmeel, the king's son, and Seraiah, the son of Azriel, and Shelemiah, the son of Abdiel, to arrest Baruch the scribe and Jeremiah the prophet. But Yahweh hid them. Then Yahweh's word came to Jeremiah, after the king had burned the scroll, and the words which Baruch wrote at the mouth of Jeremiah, saying, Take again another scroll, and write in it all the former words that were in the first scroll, which Jehoiakim the king of Judah has burned. Concerning Jehoiakim king of Judah, you shall say, Yahweh says, You have burned this scroll, saying, Why have you written therein, saying, The king of Babylon will certainly come and destroy this land, and will cause to cease from there man and animal. Therefore, Yahweh says concerning Jehoiakim, king of Judah, He will have no one to sit on David's throne. His dead body will be cast out in the day to the heat, and in the night to the frost. I will punish him, his offspring, and his servants for their iniquity. I will bring on them, on the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and on the men of Judah, all the evil that I have pronounced against them, but they didn't listen. Then took Jeremiah another scroll, and gave it to Baruch the scribe, the son of Neriah, who wrote therein from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the book, which Jehoiakim king of Judah had burned in the fire, and many similar words were added to them. Chapter 37. Zedekiah the son of Josiah reigned as king, instead of Coniah the son of Jehoiakim, whom Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon made king in the land of Judah. But neither he nor his servants nor the people of the land listened to Yahweh's words, which he spoke by the prophet Jeremiah. Zedekiah the king sent Jehucal the son of Shelemiah, and Zephaniah the son of Maaseiah the priest, to the prophet Jeremiah, saying, Pray now to Yahweh our God for us. Now Jeremiah came in and went out among the people, for they had not put him into prison. Pharaoh's army had come out of Egypt, and when the Chaldeans who were besieging Jerusalem heard news of them, they broke up from Jerusalem. Then Yahweh's word came to the prophet Jeremiah, saying,
Yahweh, the God of Israel, says, You shall tell the king of Judah, who sent you to me to inquire of me, Behold, Pharaoh's army, which has come out to help you, will return to Egypt into their own land. The Chaldeans will come again and fight against this city. They will take it and burn it with fire.
Yahweh says, Don't deceive yourselves, saying, The Chaldeans will surely depart from us, for they will not depart. For though you had struck the whole army of the Chaldeans who fight against you, and only wounded men remained among them, they would each rise up in his tent and burn this city with fire. When the army of the Chaldeans had broken up from Jerusalem for fear of Pharaoh's army, then Jeremiah went out of Jerusalem to go into the land of Benjamin, to receive his portion there, in the middle of the people. When he was in Benjamin's gate, a captain of the guard was there, whose name was Arijah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Hananiah. And he seized Jeremiah the prophet, saying, You are defecting to the Chaldeans. Then Jeremiah said, That is false. I am not defecting to the Chaldeans. But he didn't listen to him. So Irijah seized Jeremiah and brought him to the princes. The princes were angry with Jeremiah and struck him, and put him in prison in the house of Jonathan the scribe, for they had made that the prison. When Jeremiah had come into the dungeon house and into the cells, and Jeremiah had remained there many days, then Zedekiah the king sent and had him brought out. The king asked him secretly in his house, "Is there any word from Yahweh?" Jeremiah said, "There is." He also said, "You will be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon." Moreover, Jeremiah said to King Zedekiah, "How have I sinned against you, against your servants, or against this people, that you have put me in prison? Now where are your prophets who prophesied to you, saying, 'The king of Babylon will not come against you, nor against this land'? Now please hear, my lord the king. Please let my supplication be presented before you, that you not cause me to return to the house of Jonathan the scribe, lest I die there." Then Zedekiah the king commanded, and they committed Jeremiah into the court of the guard. They gave him daily a loaf of bread out of the baker's street, until all the bread in the city was gone. Thus Jeremiah remained in the court of the guard. Chapter 38. Shephatiah the son of Mattan, and Gedaliah the son of Pashur, and Jucal the son of Shelemiah, and Pashur the son of Malchijah, heard the words that Jeremiah spoke to all the people, saying, "Yahweh says, He who remains in this city will die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he who goes out to the Chaldeans will live, and he will escape with his life, and he will live. Yahweh says, This city will surely be given into the hand of the army of the king of Babylon, and he will take it." Then the princes said to the king, "Please let this man be put to death, because he weakens the hands of the men of war who remain in this city, and the hands of all the people, in speaking such words to them. For this man doesn't seek the welfare of this people, but harm." Zedekiah the king said, "Behold, he is in your hand, for the king can't do anything to oppose you." Then they took Jeremiah and threw him into the dungeon of Malchijah the king's son, that was in the court of the guard. They let down Jeremiah with cords. In the dungeon there was no water, but mire, and Jeremiah sank in the mire. Now when Ebed-Melech, the Ethiopian, a eunuch, who was in the king's house, heard that they had put Jeremiah in the dungeon, the king was then sitting in Benjamin's gate. Ebed-Melech went out of the king's house and spoke to the king, saying, "My lord the king, these men have done evil in all that they have done to Jeremiah the prophet, whom they have cast into the dungeon. He is likely to die in the place where he is, because of the famine, for there is no more bread in the city." Then the king commanded Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, saying, "Take from here 30 men with you, and take up Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he dies." So Ebed-Melech took the men with him, and went into the house of the king under the treasury, and took from there rags and worn-out garments, and led them down by cords into the dungeon to Jeremiah. Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian said to Jeremiah, "Now put these rags and worn-out garments under your armpits, under the cords." Jeremiah did so. So they drew up Jeremiah with the cords, and took him up out of the dungeon, and Jeremiah remained in the court of the guard. Then Zedekiah the king sent and took Jeremiah the prophet to himself, into the third entry that is in Yahweh's house. Then the king said to Jeremiah, "I will ask you something. Hide nothing from me." Then Jeremiah said to Zedekiah, "If I declare it to you, will you not surely put me to death? If I give you counsel, you will not listen to me." So Zedekiah the king swore secretly to Jeremiah, saying, As Yahweh lives, who made us, this soul, I will not put you to death, neither will I give you into the hand of these men who seek your life. Then Jeremiah said to Zedekiah, Yahweh, the God of armies, the God of Israel, says, If you will go out to the king of Babylon's princes, then your soul will live, and this city will not be burned with fire. You will live along with your house. But if you will not go out to the king of Babylon's princes, then this city will be given into the hand of the Chaldeans, and they will burn it with fire, and you won't escape out of their hand. Zedekiah the king said to Jeremiah, I am afraid of the Jews who have defected to the Chaldeans, lest they deliver me into their hand, and they mock me. But Jeremiah said, They won't deliver you. Obey, I beg you, Yahweh's voice, in that which I speak to you, so it will be well with you, and your soul will live. But if you refuse to go out, this is the word that Yahweh has shown me. Behold, all the women who are left in the king of Judah's house will be brought out to the king of Babylon's princes. And those women will say, Your familiar friends have turned on you and have prevailed over you. Your feet are sunk in the mire. They have turned away from you. They will bring out all your wives and your children to the Chaldeans. You won't escape out of their hand, but will be taken by the hand of the king of Babylon. You will cause this city to be burned with fire. Then Zedekiah said to Jeremiah, Let no man know of these words, and you won't die. But if the princes hear that I have talked with you, and they come to you and tell you, Declare to us now what you have said to the king. Don't hide it from us, and we will not put you to death. Also tell us what the king said to you. Then you shall tell them, I presented my supplication before the king, that he would not cause me to return to Jonathan's house, to die there. Then all the princes came to Jeremiah and asked him, and he told them according to all these words that the king had commanded. So they stopped speaking with him, for the matter was not perceived. So Jeremiah stayed in the court of the guard until the day that Jerusalem was taken.